Sunday of July, and it's going between DeMusliM and B with a Delhi versus Roos matchup as we see B already out there grabbing those wolves mid-map.
Yeah, and oh, that is really good for the Muslim. That is a boar next to the middle sacred site, and that is the double value, right? Not only you get the tower on the sacred side, but you get the tower on the boar. So if I'm the Muslim right here, I just 100% go for that boar, and 100% try to deny that because now, if you weren't convinced that maybe going for the middle is the play, that boar is like, are you sure about that? There's 2,000 food as well to go along with that one. So I think that's something you definitely go for now.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the boar always spawns right there in the middle. I would have to look and see a few seeds of this, but yeah, absolutely, that would be a great position for a wooden fortress to deny. We see DeMusliM going kind of for his deer nearby. The other boar far up to the north, so Pumbaa's hanging out there by the stealth forest. So we'll have to see if we'll have an aggressive wooden fortress here in the early game.
Yeah, another thing to note is all the deer are in the middle. So it's gonna be in a way hard to raid with horsemen because they're all the food sources. If you look at the Muslims' food sources, you got 2 deer packs and berries next to each other. So
Yeah, a town center there would be nice.
yeah, right. So if he gets a town center there, I wouldn't mind a town center in the middle actually as well. So I would say this is a really good spawn for the Muslim, just because Delhi likes to counterattack with horsemen into food lines, but this is going to be pretty hard to counterattack because they're all right there. And if you get some spearman archer or knight archer, it's going to be very easy for him to kind of deflect those attacks. And whoever gets control of the middle kind of has access to the opponent's deer. Like if you look at where the middle deer are for B, they're very close to the middle, right? So the opponent can quickly, get in there, do some damage, and going to be very, very contested, I think, on the middle.
Yep, and we see B already has, of course, that mosque down, getting all those free daily techs out. A few of the techs have been, there's been an increase in how long it takes to get them, correct? Do you recall which ones were changed this week?
Oh, herbal medicine is one of them. I think like 3 of them in the mosque have been increased. Not sanctity, but yeah, I think herbal medicine got increased, and then like the vision and the movement speed one I think were increased as well. If I am not mistaken.
I looked at it and I was like, that's fine. I'll make one more scholar, put him in a mosque, and I'll have it soon anyways.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's a nerf, but you can go around it. You just need to basically commit one less scholar on the battlefield, but it's still impactful. I would say pretty impactful. And we see Agent from the Muslim with 5 workers in total.
Yeah. Now the Muslims going up with the Golden Gate. Some people kind of wondered if, with the changes they did to the Kremlin, if we might see some like mid-map aggressive Kremlins. I mean, I'm thinking on this map, if you were ever going to try something crazy like that, like this might almost be the time to you could almost do it there on those boar and deer all up in the middle.
I mean, if the middle of this map had like a wood line,
yeah,
like a little bit of wood, I wouldn't mind a Kremlin there because then you just get wood right there. You get. Not only you get like a tower, but you get a tower where you can put villagers inside and you're gathering there. So I wouldn't mind that on this map specifically. But I think Golden Gate still is just much better option. Like Kremlin is just a tower at the end of the day. And, you can just make those anyway. But trading with Golden Gate is very, very good all the way into the late game. So
here come those villagers. Good. Let's see where they place down that wooden fortress. And I think you might have predicted it there. He's already aggroed the boar as B's trying to disrupt it and coming forward with his villagers to kill that right there on the edge of the sacred site. This will be a great place for a wooden fortress.
Yeah, very nice. And there were 2 options. He could have placed the tower and the boar actually close to B to potentially deny deer with the tower as well. He chose to place it more defensively, and not only he'll get the boar, but it's kind of gonna protect those deer a little bit as well, give him some vision. So yeah, if he placed the tower like right there, he could have upgraded and denied the deer. So he chose more defensive, and I think that kind of fits with the Muslim style. B is the one who would probably just tower Kremlin his
That's what
own
I was
goal or
thinking. It's like
something.
he's the one who would do it. Now, by the way, B's got a quite forward stable there. That's not in range of his town center, and he put his scholar inside there with that efficient production. So he's going to have horsemen running out to the middle very, very quickly, but we'll see what value he's able to gain.
Yeah, and no unit production yet from DeMusliM. One thing to note, B is going to go for a tower. I mean, like I said, B is like, I feel like he's the opposite of DeMusliM. He's just crazy aggressive. Like, even when DeMusliM is aggressive, he doesn't really do, like, YOLO things. He just kind of, attacks where he thinks he can do something. B is just out there, like, he'll make 5 towers if he thinks he's going to help him in the game, like, around his boar, and there's nothing you can do to stop him, So you kind of have to respond. So this game is definitely a clash of styles. Like, you have a more defensive player versus not only aggressive, but extremely aggressive player. So it's up to DeMusliM to kind of defend, not just in this game, but in the whole best of 3.
Yeah. I kind of would love to see a deli wall around, like, just wall them in or something. Something would be crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, the tower finishes, and B already got stone, already upgrading. And you know what? I can see B just continuing to tower rush into the wood line now.
Yeah.
Cool.
With the arrow slits, will he reach those villagers there? I know they did decrease the range on it.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you actually put villagers inside, it would already reach. Like, that is a very close tower.
Yeah. And he's recognized that, going up there trying to burn that down right now with his villagers. Scholar microing around the edge as the knight's trying to pick it off, but he jumps inside that tower just in time.
Yeah, and he's instantly going to upgrade the tower once more for that basically juicy HP buff and reduced torch damage taken. Yeah, this tower is staying up, and he's already bleeding workers.
Yep.
He lost one is deep red, and this tower is 100% staying up. We did see the DeMusliM also upgrade his tower, so I think if B attempts to repair this, the tower will be in range. But the tower did the work, like, you can't kill it now. It's about to get upgraded as well.
Yeah.
There it is. So that's staying.
A little Age of Tower face-off here in the middle of the game already, but denying that boar. Now, the next one is all the way to the north. It's probably unlikely he's going to be going for that boar anytime soon, if he does at all. Going for that first sacred site, you see. He's got his scholars paired up so they could heal each other. One going down mid-map.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting a good trade, but I feel like this is a pretty good start from B. He killed a worker. He didn't lose any of his. He's going to get a sacred site for free. That middle is not going to hold. The moment he has some spearmen, he will just A-move onto the tower on the middle, and he's 100% going to get that. And not only he's going to get it, but he's going to have his own tower, right? So it's kind of like a bonus, and DeMusliM did invest, 275 plus the stables in the middle that will all be going down. So already a pretty rough start, I would say.
Yeah, definitely the risk, as always, with Age of Empires 4. If you build a forward base and you put military reduction buildings, you've got to keep it, because if you lose it, you basically get to sit on top of that. You're not going to be able to repop. And we do have a town center being dropped right now, 4B there on the deer line.
Wow, that's actually very surprising, but I kind of like it. Like, Delhi is not the civ that usually goes for TC, right?
Yeah.
But in this situation, you cannot activate a sacred site win, right? Because of the way the map works. So I think he will try to get that middle for sure, but then he will just kind of sit back and enjoy. And I'm not sure if DeMusliM is even going to expect this, because this is like very, very uncommon for Delhi to go for the second TC, especially this early. So DeMusliM is about to see it, and he needs to respond to it, right? Whether it's full-on aggression or his own TC, like, he needs to do something ASAP.
Yeah. And he sees that now. I did see Vodka on the Observer pointing out that DeMusliM is at 500 bounty there for the Roost, so that is going to be a nice little bonus for him pretty early on here.
Yeah, for sure. And Siege Engineering coming up, and B started crazy with aggression, got the tower, denied the food, and then added a second TC, which, again, he does have a very unique style and unique take on things. And now he's basically putting DeMusliM in an all-in situation where if you attack and it doesn't work, the game is over. If you go for second TC, you are behind, because he does have a sacred site ticking, and he's getting gold the whole time. So I feel like for DeMusliM right now, whichever option you pick is not good. So you just need to pick like the least terrible option and kind of try to win with that one.
Yeah, we see DeMusliM pushing up with a few spearmen as he's gonna raid there. I think he maybe lost one villager there.
Yeah, one villager, and if you look at the villager difference now, it's 7, 6 plus sacred site now.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot.
plus all the upgrades that are eco upgrades already completed, and the army upgrades will soon complete as well. So very, very good spot for B right now, I think. And he just needs to, hold, and he'll be good to go.
And you kind of mentioned B would be running around all around the map with raids, and that's what he's doing right now. Another raid coming in on the deers right now with this horseman as the spears are away. Yeah, all the spears are they're all away building the ram, but horseman trying to pick up a villager, some low HP ones. One goes down. Will he get another? Looks like 2 go down, and just making this villager lead even further for B. But yes, a ram is pushing forward, and he's going to have to respond to this.
Yeah, the armor supply is almost double for DeMusliM, but B has better economy, and let's not forget he can buy food because he does have the gold income. He has healing, he has the TC that he can focus fire stuff, and he's basically printing units with those scholars inside those buildings. So I think even though the army supply doesn't look great for him, he still is in a better position if he just delays this and takes it slow.
Yep, we see the archers moving really close to the town center, but that town center is just focusing down those unarmored units, not really shooting at the ram yet. Knight's coming in, looking to do some damage as there's some archers with not really anything to defend them, so he's going to push those back. I think this town center will inevitably go down, but he is taking losses to it. And, B might have already established his villager lead. He needs here that he can just turn around and wipe up this army once he uses that efficient production.
Oh god, the units are moving through the tower in the middle now, and they're just dying to the tower as well, so that's unfortunate, but he is still breaking through. Yep, there's the tower just...
That's huge.
Yeah, they're all arriving in the battle, it's just red.
Villagers escaped.
I'm a little bit confused. Where are B's scholars? I haven't seen a single one in the battle. I feel like
are they all
have,
garrisoned in military buildings, maybe? We should have more.
I'm not sure. He should have 6 or 7 at this point for sure. Because even in the earlier fights, yeah, he has 3 in Musk, just chilling. He has 1 there.
Getting those techs.
Yeah, a little bit, bleeding out units left and right. B was when DeMusliM was poking with the archers. And just kind of taking unit losses multiple places. And that tower will also shoot into villagers very soon, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just not fighting with scholars, which was a bit weird, I would say. And not only he's going to lose the TC, he's going to lose the stables now as well. So this push, like I said, it was the least out of or the least worst option, but he is making it work.
Yep, and now we're seeing, he got that early train time off and was to the battle quickly with that forward stable, but now he's losing that. It's not even covered by town center. He's going to lose a stable, probably lose that house. He's losing a lot of his infrastructure, and he doesn't have the military count really to take this on. He needs that military production.
Yeah, and the scholars just are so powerful, as everyone knows, right? Like they just do so much healing and negate so much damage. So I feel like if he had those, would be much better for him. He didn't really also fully commit to the defending, right? He kind of defended, but not really. He never truly went in. And if you think about it, if he was saving units this whole time, he could potentially overwhelm this army completely, but as it is, it looks like he is actually attempting, maybe not. He had 900 food, but then he just spent it, so I thought he might attempt to go castle, which, very risky business, and we do see a horseman raid coming in.
Yep, so despite having the villager count advantage, DeMusliM has kept his military mass growing, and he is getting closer and closer, and it looks like multiple rams being built. He is going to be trying to possibly finish this off in feudal age.
Yeah, he's definitely going for it. I mean, he's committed. He's gotten a couple of production buildings, which he probably feels pretty good about.
Nice little raid here.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like just few horsemen, but he denied all the food gathering at deer. He killed like 4 villagers, and he's still... Now all the wood villagers are running around. They're idle, losing some archer reinforcements. So good raid by B, and I think he's just waiting till the last moment to go.
Yeah.
That is not a lot of. That is 5 spearmen and 2 knights, and that is it. This is just archers basically at this point. So I'm not sure how many horsemen. He has 12 horsemen, which is a really good number. So this is going to be all about micro from either side if they get proper engagements on the units.
Yep, I don't know. That's a lot of Roos archers. I think he's just taking more. I think actually one of them shooting at the towns are shooting at the ram right now, which isn't ideal. Villagers being pulled though, so this is probably going to be it. We've got the horsemen charging forward, but being slowed down by the knight and the spearmen on the front line. The archers trying to take out the spears, but that ram's continuing to work. Where'd the villagers go? Did they jump inside? They're repairing. Okay.
Yeah, like. This was a pretty sloppy engagement, I would say. Like the scholars, he lost 3 before the fight started. The horsemen weren't on archers. Then he had archers AFK in the back, maybe panicking a little bit, but you can see like the spearmen now dying to archers. The horsemen are not on the archers. So a little bit all over the place from B, and maybe that this is something that he's genuinely not as used to, like people being aggressive on him. And this does happen with players that are extremely aggressive. One of the best ways to play against aggressive players is be more aggressive on them because they don't have as much experience actually defending stuff, right?
Yeah.
He will kind of delay this for now, but if DeMusliM makes 2 more rams and goes for it, I don't see B holding this.
Yep, so that town center is alive for just a second. Of course, that's idled a lot of villager time. I'm sure he lost some villagers in that fight as well. He's still up on the villager count, but DeMusliM probably just going to regroup, maybe build some more rams. That's exactly what he's doing, and going to keep pushing here with this spear and archer composition. Looks like 2 knights are out on the field as well.
Yeah, he didn't get any healing value from those scholars, and like I said, that's the biggest part of your army. As Delhi, so kind of unfortunate, but this TC is I mean, it's looking pretty beaten up already, but it's about to get completely destroyed.
Yep, we've got the Delhi archers picking off. I think, was that all the spearmen? Let's see, how many spearmen do you have left? He's done a good job picking those off pretty early on, which will leave some room for those horsemen to head on in there in a second. Villagers being pulled to repair, and we've got a lot of scholars in there healing. Of course, you can attack move with scholars now, but they aren't on the front line. They're not healing.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I was saying, right? Like, you can see the scholars are kind of chilling in the back, and even though the DeMusliM is 0 spearmen, there's just 3 horsemen, and he actually has so many archers, he can probably one-shot these horsemen. And one of the things to note, right, while B looks like he is defending and it's all good, he has a lot of idle time, and that TC will go down eventually. That Sacred Site is doing a lot of work for him, getting a lot of gold. I'm not sure if he has a market somewhere or not, but he is still holding on for now. He does have more workers, and I think like this is the point where DeMusliM chooses: am I going to keep doing this, or am I going to go back?
Yeah, that fight seemed to go a little bit better for B there in the end. I think if he had really controlled his healing there, could have gone even better. But I don't know, with that amount of archers, maybe he's able to just one-shot the units before the healing can happen.
Yeah, that as well, but then you kind of force your opponent to overkill, because that was probably like 40 archers when that fight started, and then that is way overkilling stuff. So in a way, it's like your units die, but then you technically take less damage by losing a unit than if the auto attacks just went through. And I think DeMusliM was very eager to finish that game. Once he killed the stable and the TC initially. And this is one of those things where,
nothing.
right. But this is one of those things where he committed heavily on TC, didn't get it, and the food sources from B have been going on the whole time. Although I think that B just depleted all his berries on his side of the map. I don't see any on the mini map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the only food sources he has left are farms and those 2 deer patches in the middle. So this is why DeMusliM can still go for the attack, because if you look at B's income, it's complete trash because he's only working off of like 3 farms now. And he's mining wood with probably 40, 50 villagers, trying to make the transition to farms. And the point here is that he's not making any units right now. Meanwhile, DeMusliM has been printing the whole time. So if he wants to, he can go for another attack and try to end the game once again.
Yep. I'm kind of surprised DeMusliM didn't go in for any raids on the side during all that. A knight or two could have really caused some problems. We see the horseman continuing to raid. B has been raiding through all of this. Even when like he was taking some heavy losses at home, he's been raiding and raiding. But we saw a lot of town center and fire from the wooden fortress there as DeMusliM is pushing forward once again.
Yeah, B is very good at, like I said, raiding and horseman raids. Like, he always, you know, makes it super, like, messy. And we see on the minimap, he's just raiding again. The moment DeMusliM engaged, he just sent the horseman back in. And this looks like a lot of units for DeMusliM. 64 versus 50. Horseman being annoying again. So even though he's taking damage here, he's still doing damage on the other side of the map and kind of forcing DeMusliM to, you know, either keep trying or be behind in villagers.
And lots of healing going on. At this point, of course, Delhi has all of their upgrades as they're free and has been in this age for quite some time. Those Rams working on it as the villagers come forward to siege down the Rams and losing villagers along the way, but his archers are still alive and maybe this villager tanking a little bit of damage for this fight.
Yeah, and we see an archer being produced for B, and we saw 5 archers and a knight produced from DeMusliM. So this, you know, it becomes a numbers game.
Yeah.
He is holding technically, but the amount of farms he has right now cannot sustain him because DeMusliM is still working off of berries, and going into farms this early is just never a good thing for you.
Yep, so trying to snipe down that ram with his torches. The villagers is the only thing that can throw torches at siege units these days. And that town center just barely survives, but lost a lot of villagers along the way. You look at the villager count right now. B is down 6 villagers. Yes, there's a sacred site there too as well. But even more importantly, look at those army numbers. DeMusliM just continuing to climb and have a larger army.
Yeah, and he's ahead in villagers. So this is the first time in the game, like, B has been ahead in villagers this whole time, even after he lost the second TC, but he has finally taken some damage, and DeMusliM is, I think I just saw another stable being added, so he is definitely going for it. Now, the interesting thing is, B transitioning to farms is bad this early, right? Because you don't want to invest those resources into farms.
Yeah.
But if DeMusliM doesn't kill him in a couple of minutes, he will be the one that needs to transition to farms. Because B's economy,
yeah,
look at that, 1,000 food per minute.
He's set up.
Yeah, so there's a point where transitioning to farms is terrible. You're not producing anything for like 2 minutes solid. But then if you do get it sorted, now B is like, okay, my food income is done for the next 15, 20, 30 minutes. And DeMusliM is soon going to enter that area that B was in where he has to transition to farms.
Yep.
I think he has 1 berry patch. Potentially he can go for B's deer, which is something he should 100% do. Yeah, there it is. And that's a lot of food that he is about to get right there on the deers. So, and he has the boar in the middle, which he actually forgot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I feel like he's definitely forgot about that. That's a good catch there.
So he still has like 4K food probably, or maybe even more, with the deer and the boar and the bears. So he has a large window to still kill B, but B can actually produce units now. So that's something that's going for him. He can mass produce horsemen, mass produce spearmen, archers, whatever he wants, because he has the income for it. And if you look at the unit count, I feel like this is the first time where B has bigger army.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, knights are more expensive. They require gold as well. And B is right now just printing units with scholars. So DeMusliM is going for this. And I'm not sure if he's actually aware of how many farms B has. Because the next fight that happens, he might be very surprised at why B has that many units. It's kind of like, I've almost killed TC 3 times.
It's so close to killing it. Yeah.
Right, you had no units. And now there's a chance that if DeMusliM waits for a bit longer, that he actually just gets kind of overwhelmed with the amount of units. Almost same archer count. He has same spearman amount and double the horsemen plus 9 scholars to heal. That is a lot of scholars to use.
Yeah, the scholar numbers have been climbing, so of course that healing, not to mention he can attack move healing if he needs to. There we go, more rams being built, so I think we're about to see the same song and dance we've seen from DeMusliM for most of this game, going to be going after that town center, but as you've mentioned, the army count is going to be way different this time. B is set up, and not to mention, even if they're even on army count and he's got the healing going on, he's likely going to have an advantage.
Yeah, and horsemen are, always easier to replenish than the knights, right? So,
and upgrades. I mean, he's got all of his upgrades compared to DeMusliM.
Yeah, and if the game goes to castle, right, B can get all the upgrades at the same time, while the Muslim is gonna have to wait a little bit. And B feeling pretty good, even decided to engage the Muslim instead of kind of waiting near the T seat for fight to come at him. And see, this is the point where I was talking about. You don't want to target fire right now as the Muslim because you're going to be overkilling so much, and this is where the scholars come into play and will basically make a lot of B's archers like pretty much invincible with this kind of fighting.
Yep, we see the Rams once again. 1, 2, 3, 4 Rams currently. Well, 3 trying to take down that town center. Knights going around back, maybe to do some raiding, but on the front line, B's army looking to be reigning superior as those Rus archer numbers are slowly falling, with the scholars handing out plenty of healing. It looks like he just targeted down the scholars.
I just want to say that B is beating this army while having a raid of like 8 or 9 horsemen on the other side. So he was confident enough to just be like, you know what, I'll take almost all my horsemen and just raid on the other side of the map. And again, they are trading, but this time the trade is a little bit better for B, and he's pretty much just, he's just beating out the army. Like, this is the thing, right? He target fired the scholars, he killed all of them, great. But then now there's a whole army remaining that's, was DPSing your army the whole time. The horsemen are killing villagers on the other side. And this is, B's road to recovery. Finally stabilizing and kind of winning the first fight.
Yeah, this is looking good, really good for B. I mean, it was looking like perhaps DeMusliM was going to take that all the way, as that town center almost died 1, 2, a third time. Like, all the town center has been lit on fire, and yet it still is standing. And this is what's kept him in the game.
Yeah, and might be overextending a little bit because that knight is about to tank a lot of damage. Spearmen are coming. I do like the fact that he is raiding with horsemen, but it's one of those things where if he had 9 horsemen there, he can just mow down those archers. So
yeah,
I think if you're defending an all-in attack, raiding is fine, but I feel like 2 horsemen would do the same job as 9, attacking. The villagers are not going to fight them, so deciding to push out a little bit too far. I'm not sure if he's attempting to recapture. Yep, there we go. Recapturing the sacred site, and the game is definitely looking a lot better for B right now.
And B is back up to 6 scholars right now. He lost a few in that last fight, but he's continuing to produce them. Actually, I don't think he has any in queue right now from what I can see on the UI. But 38 archers on the map for DeMusliM, 38 for B. We have 1 knight for DeMusliM, 9 horsemen for B, and then 4 spearmen for DeMusliM, and 9 for B.
Look at DeMuslim's food income was just 45.
Yeah, but he's running around getting... He has gone for that northern boar finally.
Yeah, but he's out. Like, no more deer, no more berries. See, this is the problem right now. He has to go farms. So if he fights now, he's just dead because his unit production is completely stopped. If you look at the left side, he's producing 1 archer, and that's it. 0 archers right now. So I think he's trying to get to castle. We see some food, maybe buying is happening, a little bit of shopping. And he's going to attempt to go castle. Where he goes from there, I'm not sure, because he is not dealing with like knights and then he just makes, crossbows or spears. He's dealing with pure massive units. So
yeah,
I think he would need like a mangonel or something to be able to defend this. Because if he attacks right now, if he attacks up right now and B sees it, B will instantly attack. And you need a plan. How are you going to defend that?
And several villagers going down here. There are also, those villagers to the north are quite exposed. He's even farming up there, and should there be some focus up there, could lose another chunk of economy.
Yep, and the Muslim aging up. B, plenty on food. Not actually mining anymore.
Oh, look at this. He sees it, denying the age up for now. More villagers being pulled to try to finish it, but he's just going to dance around here and keep poking at him.
Yeah, and this is the worst out of the two situations. I wouldn't be surprised to see B now just move across the map.
Yeah, because he knows what's going on.
It's like what I said is like he will instantly attack if he sees the age up, but he actually saw the age up before it happened, so he kind of bought himself like 30 seconds bonus to do something about this. So, and you know those horsemen, look at that. Like he's always active with them, always doing the raiding, being annoying, and that's how you're supposed to use them. So.
Yeah, he has definitely done tons of raiding these horsemen. We've seen archers engaging a wooden fortress head on. Quite interesting. As the horseman, it looks like the spearman finally killed the horseman on the backline. Did he get that boar mid? Looks like maybe he. No, that's not the sacred site one.
I don't think he did get the boar.
Yeah, it's still there.
I think you forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there. I mean, those things happen. Like, I think everyone that plays this game, whether you're, you know, Plastic League or pro player, you 100% forgot about those things sometimes. It does happen. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And, you know, he did hit Castle just now. And like I said, B is just going for it, right? And DeMusliM is trying to not fight. He's going man-at-arms behind this. He's getting the upgrades for his archers instantly, which will actually increase his DPS by a huge margin.
Yeah, and I don't know, is B going to be able to get a whole lot of progress standing there underneath the town center fire and wooden fortress? I feel like he's just going to be taking a lot of losses.
The archers finish upgrading, by the way, and they got +2 armor now against range, so B needs to get out of there. Like, he pushed out almost immediately, but going in a TC, like you mentioned, maybe not the greatest idea. Maybe just, you know, poke around, maybe try to pick off gold villagers would have been better, but maybe he thought he could do more damage. And, you know, DeMusliM holding off nicely. And now the battle swings in his favor once again, but just for a little bit, because B is about to hit castle. And then we're going to see Lord Jesus tower elephants.
Yep, so we've got probably some tower elephants on the way. B continuing to engage the superior tech army, also some man-arms there. But he's got enough archers that he can actually kite back and maybe get some kills. It is, in fact, what he's doing. While all the techs have been queued up for Delhi. You see there across the bottom left of the screen. They're all free, so get them on queue. But the question is, I wonder how many scholars he has garrisoned right now inside the mosque.
DeMusliM already with 3 relics, by the way, so very nice during all of this, getting 3 relics. B, you know, this is why I love Age of Empires, because there's never a one thing you should do. There's always multiple decisions, and when he saw that castle, he could have actually taken sacred sites or attacked, but you have to make a decision in a second. So he decided to attack, didn't work out. And now, you know, there's always like, oh, well, he could have done this, right? But in a moment, it's very hard to make these decisions, because if he got the 2 sacred sites, he would have been in a really nice spot regarding his income as it is. But we will see elephants most likely coming out soon. I hope so for B, because they are going to be extremely, extremely good against this army.
Yep, I saw villagers chasing that 9 in the back line. These archer armies continuing to go back and forth, but the difference is going to be DeMusliM has his upgrades, while B is going to take a long time to get them. And there we go, our first elephant heading across the middle of the map.
Yeah, and B has better income, by the way. So he has double the farms, because, you know, he's double the income, right? So, and this is something that, like I said, he established it early. It's not great, but if it is done, it's going to serve you very well in the long run. And that elephant,
but he doesn't have, you know, you typically want to have scholars on it. His scholar count is quite low, and he also doesn't have like any garrison as far as getting this tech, so it's going to take a long time to get these upgrades.
Yeah, and that wooden fortress has sprinkled upgrades, so it's doing a good amount of damage right there. Managed to get 1 relic, not bad, not great.
Ooh,
and I think it's
damage.
Oh, he might die right there. And I don't think he's paying attention. This is the issue with Delhi, right? He has been upgrading archers for a while now, and they're still not done. So this whole time he's been fighting castle archers.
Look at that. It looks like 1 elephant will die to 1 sprinkled upgraded wooden fortress. What we're seeing here, elephant going down. That is a loss of quite a bit of value.
Yeah, and that tower, I feel like has been doing a lot of work throughout this game. Even though it was technically defensive, it, well, actually did a lot of defensive work, so I guess it did its job. But if B just stabilizes a little bit, oh no, those scholars are running to the middle. Oh, I think they just ran into a bunch of archers.
Oh no!
Yeah, I feel like if B gets a couple of elephants, like 3-4 elephants, this army will not kill elephants. Like, I mean, these are just archers and some horse archers, which, unless they extremely overwhelm the amount of elephants on the field, they're not gonna trade too well. And B is mixing in horsemen, which I really like. He's producing triple horsemen at a time, elephants and scholars, which, I mean, literally counters DeMusliM's army.
Now, B is still up on villager count while we saw DeMusliM dropping down another town center, and you got to also consider the relic count. DeMusliM has 4 while B has 1. And we see these horsemen positioning right now for B, maybe looking to get us around on these archers as they're kiting back with elephants in tow, and he's not going to be able to just stand there and fight as those elephants move forward.
Yep, and let's not forget, Delhi is playable, or more playable in Imperial than it was before, so this is not one of those, if DeMusliM just goes into Imperial, the game is over. I've recently played Delhi, and the faster upgrades are definitely noticeable. Elephants being affected properly by the upgrades as well are definitely noticeable, so this is not, just hold and you got this in the late game. It can still go either way if it reaches Imperial.
Yep, we see those elephants reaching mid, that wooden fortress finally going down. Imagine if he had saved that first elephant and not just lost it to that tower for free. But he is taking out that mid-map production and moving forward with these elephants and looking quite strong at the moment.
Yep.
Is he walling in that sacred site? Is that art walling up? The southwest. He looks like.
Yeah, he walled that off earlier. Yeah. DeMusliM just got it back.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So. Wait, is DeMusliM going to try to wall? Oh no, he's just going somewhere. Regarding gold income, by the way, they will pretty much have the same income regarding gold, because Delhi will get 2 sacred sites and a relic, and DeMusliM has 4 relics. So actually, Delhi's gonna. Actually, it's exactly the same income. So. But DeMusliM does have the 3rd sacred.
But he has sighted out this wooden fortress, and now there's a lot of villagers up there. 5, 6, 7, I guess 8 villagers appear to be there right now, and he's going to be taking down those defenses and likely cleaning up those villagers.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of food income, right? So, food income that B already has better, right? It just went even worse for DeMusliM, and B seems to be stationing in the middle. See a lot of walls. Wouldn't mind a little keep there. He actually has a ram as well. All right, why not?
B has 1 ram. Yeah, I didn't think it was time for that quite yet, but those horsemen likely going to get caught up there.
Yeah, and he raided and he's like, I'm done, and he's like, wait, actually I'm not done, I'm gonna just kill everything. So but yeah, I think this is looking pretty good for B. They're both maxed, by the way. I can't believe this game got to this point from how it started.
Yeah.
But here we are, and this is a better situation for Delhi because of those elephants. They are so strong. He does have 10 scholars, which is a decent amount, could be higher. And again, B just, constantly raiding. Oh, but very sloppy there.
Yeah, lost 2 elephants with no healing going down. Those spearmen were able to get to surround, and that's a lot of res to be losing there if you can't keep those elephants alive. So this is a pretty good engagement for DeMusliM.
Yeah, he's trying to actually wall the elephant with archers, just to run into melee units to protect the elephant.
Yeah.
Which is definitely the right decision. They're extremely expensive. And while DeMusliM is winning the battle, he is getting raided at 2 different spots, 3 different spots actually. So he's losing some economy behind it, and unless B loses everything in the middle, he can still turn this into advantage in the long run if he manages to do some eco damage, which right now I would say he's doing pretty okay, but the archers are just bleeding in the middle right now.
Yeah, lots of raids, but he's going to have to face this Rus army moving across. But yeah, B continuing, kind of like yet again, all of the horsemen are away to play while the main battle is raging on, and those elephants maybe could have been protected, perhaps.
A good point is, where are his scholars?
I
feel like in this game he's
11. Yeah, does he have them garrisoned now?
He's been
Oh, there they are.
forgetting them. Yeah. a little bit, and you know, DeMusliM is going for this push, and this is one of those, like, he's pushing through, but the horsemen are raiding at the same time, so he's hoping to do some damage. And I feel like we're seeing a repeat of Feudal Age, just you know, just a little bit later and with a little bit of different units.
Yeah, it's kind of a good choke point, though, for the healing that B's able to do here with these elephants standing behind the buildings and taking shots. We see one elephant going down, sounding the trumpet, and those horsemen now are here in the battle and engaging. I can't tell how many crossbow or how many spears are on the front line there, but those horsemen making DeMusliM back up just a little bit as those elephants will start to push forward now, and now those archers are being a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I mean, it's a counter army fighting, you know, archers, and a lot of horsemen coming back from the middle, by the way. They're about to hit from the west, and the Muslims' army is, oh no, those are, okay, never mind, those are archers that just they just trickled in from the middle.
Is that a mangonel there? Is that mangonel up? What is that? Is that a canceled mangonel? I don't know what that was. I think in the middle that's a mangonel. I think maybe it died to the horseman or something. Yeah, right there.
I'm not sure, but,
oh, it's still alive. He's looks like we had a spear and mangonel horseman battle out here, but the mangonel won.
Surviving barely, but we see DeMusliM has 3 mangonels actually.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't going to do that great against elephants. I mean, it'll do fine against all the archers, I guess.
Yeah, and then DeMusliM building his whole eco again, completely outside of his base, and I feel like if B sees this, it might be a repeat of just all farms going down completely.
Yeah, one villager difference right now.
Very, very, very surprised that we didn't see a single keep from B. By the way, what landmark did he age up with?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's see what he did. The House of Learning. He has not had any armored units.
Yeah, he doesn't have any men-at-arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not...
He wanted that moss killing.
I mean, keeps are worse, right? But if with Delhi, if you go for the
cheaper keeps
landmark thing, your keeps cost 600 stone, right? So you can just kind of plop them down everywhere and not really worry about it. And then you force your opponent to go into trebuchets and stuff. So.
I was nervous about this. He's got all his mangonel, but B loves his horsemen, and they can so quickly pop them. But DeMusliM reacting quickly. He's able to keep that one alive. There's another one in the back line. If he sees that, he does see it. Another. You can't just have these like unguarded spawning in mangonels anymore, because look how quickly they die. One, will he get the second one? No, I think the other one's going to survive. But that is a lot of mangonels out on the map.
Oh my god, that was 7 total. He has 6 left on the map. And B finally transitioning to Lancers, by the way. Seems like I'm assuming he cut down on the elephant production, and he's just going pure Lancer, which I'm kind of wondering why that decision is made, because I feel like elephants would do well against this army comp.
Now, you could be able to get a nice surround here as DeMusliM's kind of in an open position. We see from the back line, those Lancers charging in, and they will do that charge damage. Watch this. Boom, this mangonel's exploding almost instantly, and he's going to back up. Yeah, good micro by DeMusliM, you know, keeping them alive. One does go down, but this is still 3, and that's... Oh, that one horseman hero. Do you see that? No.
He just ran in.
Killed one?
One horseman just ran in the whole army, just booped Mangonel right in the nose, and it just died.
Yeah, they get booped, that's for sure.
That was a hero horseman. He just went for it.
Both players trading Mangonel
I was about to say it's a miss rally, but then he just popped the mango, so definitely worth it.
Yeah. So there we go. Another night charge from the back line, and the Lancer's going down. One surviving just barely. Oh, he's gonna get. Yeah, that one's got like 1 HP left on it.
Yeah, very good engagement. So now there's mangoes from B, but the DeMusliM has so many archers and they're so stacked right now. It needs to spread instantly. This is that awkward moment where you put the C formation and the units are kind of like, where's my spot? Where do I go? Okay, you go forward. I'm supposed to be in the back.
Yeah.
And they kind of do this weird dance where they're trying to rotate around each other.
A new age begins. And the DeMusliM hits age 4, but Delhi's kind of starting to push him back. We'll see if he's able to get those techs in and make a whole lot of impact here.
Yeah, this has been a very, very, very back and forth game, and B can almost tech up the Imperial, by the way, and I'm not sure if he will. You know, a lot of people still maybe not like Delhi and Imperial, so he might decide to just stay here.
It still takes time, that's for sure. But yeah, he's got an almost entirely Archer composition with Siege.
Yeah, I find it very interesting in both players. You know, initially, obviously, you go for archers, but we're well into castle, and both players still just massing archers. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. Meanwhile, Delhi on just one sacred side.
Oh, that could be a big mangonel shot. His archers were grouped up. Did he... took some hits there. By the way, looking at the population right now, B was just at pop max a second ago, and he is in fact aging. Delhi's alternate aging. And for those who didn't know, this week there was a change for the update. Now those age 4 Delhi upgrades come in. I think it's what, 12 times instead of 15 times is how long the speed is to get those.
Yeah, so it went from times 15, now it's times 12, which is a massive reduction because some of the upgrades take like, you know, 8, 9, 10 minutes. So getting that down does help quite a lot. And like I said, the elephants also get proper blacksmith and university upgrades. So elephants in Imperial are actually very, very strong. But they have counters in the gunpowder units, so we'll see if B decides to go for elephants or not.
Yep, and we see that we had some big mangonel shots from B as he has another mangonel coming from across the map, and Elephant's now arriving at the front line as he's kind of looking about, you know, where is he going to push this army? Is he going to push it north or go? Does he know down south? He does know that farm is down there, but there's a keep defending it.
Did he actually scout there after?
Yeah, he had horsemen
knew that
down
there
here.
were. Yeah, but that was when there were woodlines, right? So I think he might not know that there's. Or unless I missed it, I might be blind. But
now we've got Streltsy versus Archers.
I feel like you go there anyway. Like even if there's a keep, you just go for it because you kind of want to do damage to the economy.
Yeah, and if he can get that third Sacred Site, which he is capturing right now, that will increase his gold production. A Dumbo going for a little scout, but he's going to take a lot of fire. He probably needs some healing or the rest of his army.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's like, hold up. Hold up.
100 less HP on those elephants. So while they do get all those upgrades and are very powerful, just by themselves here under keep fire, you can see they can die pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is so much of his economy. This is like well over 40 workers right there. Maybe even 50 because there's even more down there on the wood lines. So this is actually so much of his economy right there, and he's definitely going to be taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's losing villagers while his gold count is quite low, while B, he's saying it has tons of resources in the bank, reaching H4. Now, we did see that boiling oil there doing some damage, while B's army's kind of been cleaned up in this fight, but I think he's done some good economic damage.
Yeah, for sure. He's killed like over 20 workers, and he's still killing them, and all the idle time.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, if you look at B's economy, he's getting like 3k food per minute. Can we check which Imperial landmark did B go? Kind of curious, because that's the one thing that like you said, we never see.
There it is.
Yeah, he went for that's the food one, right?
Yeah, Hussar.
Yeah, I think it produces like 600 food per minute. 700.
Such a weird H4 landmark, but yes, he does have it. And now we see DeMusliM starting to push out. Now, are those units upgraded? I know he has some Streltsy in there, but I wasn't sure if he had paid for some of those other Spearman or Archer upgrades.
I don't think
the
those
elite
spearmen,
archers.
I think the spearmen are still, veterans, B obviously has all the upgrades queued up. You know, it will take a bit to finish, but when it does, the power spike will be much greater than what Rus has because DeMusliM obviously doesn't have all the upgrades, or he doesn't even plan to get them, but B will have all the upgrades eventually. Yeah, so there's a timing for DeMusliM to do damage, and if he doesn't, then B will simply have so many upgrades finishing.
And B's really been liking the Horsemen, and the Horsemen now, they perform better in the late game. Didn't they change the scaling for them?
Sorry, what did you say? I missed that.
Didn't they buff the Horsemen in the late game?
Yeah, right. So Horsemen right now, but only once they're upgraded, get an extra armor. So they start with like Dark Age is 1, Feudal is 2, I think Castle is 3, and then Imperial, they get 4 armor against range attacks. So they're very, very good. He just needs that upgrade to finish, which is, you know, still in queue.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. But there we go. A lot of siege there and a lot of horsemen looking to maybe dive in, but he's going to be, DeMuslim's going to stay right on top of him. He knows they're watching.
Yeah, and DeMusliM has a pretty good timing right here. That's a lot of units. Bombard working on production. 2 landmarks in the front, actually. And he has a really good spread, by the way, as well. Like, this is... reminds me of the StarCraft Marines versus Zerg. Just full spread. Kind of waiting for the opponent to engage into a concave. So he's going to have much better kind of area of attack than his opponent would. And whichever side B comes from, it's just not going to be pretty because the army will just turn to that side and just be able to...
Now, a lot of those techs are very close. I think he's waiting for him. If you could hover over, I'm kind of curious how long do those horsemen get their upgrade, because I see he's got those upgrades very close to maybe 75% right now. Minute 30. So everything's on like a minute 30.
Yeah, so he just needs to hold, and I'm not sure if he actually puts scholars in the buildings that are researching those things, and also if he has scholars in mosques, because that like helps improves the research time so much
currently
more.
12 scholars at least on the map, but we do see nothing inside of those buildings. So he's going to have these upgrades soon, so he's kind of waiting for those upgrades to hit before he takes this engagement. We do see horsemen pushing out. Maybe he sees there's an exposed mangonel, moving those horsemen in. Will he get it? I think he might get one of them.
Jump on it.
Oh,
yeah,
on the
but
other
this
side
is one
on
of
the Springolds. Nice little
This
flank.
is one of those where he does get the mangonels, but he lost like
so many horsemen.
I guess it's worth it because if you look at his food, I mean, it's just like crazy, right?
Yeah.
Can we
goes
click
crazy.
on? Yeah, can we click on B's worker to check how many stables he has? Because if he has enough production, he can probably just overwhelm this with sheer amount of food.
Only 4 right now.
Oh, only 4 stables, yeah, because a lot of them went down, so...
He just needs to drop him. He's got plenty of res. Maybe he needs wood a little more. Bombard showing up on the front line.
3 of them are researching, by the way, in the stables.
Yeah.
So I think his production might be a little clogged up with the researchers, so maybe he doesn't realize it. That's one of those things where you're playing in a heat of battle and you're getting pushed. You're like, where are my units? You know, nothing's coming out. Because you can see his 8k food. There's just no units.
Yep, and we're just under an hour long here for this first game of this semifinal. It's been a hell of a game because early on I thought DeMusliM was going to take that all the way to the town center, and here we are at the 52-minute mark, and it's kind of crazy how long this game's been.
Yeah, and especially in this matchup, like this is not something you would see in the last match.
Nice Springald Snipes from B, taking out those Springolds of DeMusliM. He lost a mangonel, but there are Streltsy there on the front line now. Springald's taking shots at the bombards as the elephants get in on the action. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 or 6 elephants.
Yeah, B ran out of wood, by the way, completely. He's only chopping wood with a couple of villagers.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so he can actually produce lancers, but not horsemen.
Yep, that's a keep drop.
Yeah.
As the horsemen charge forward, they would do a lot of damage as their upgrades are in now. And look at that bombard just so quickly down. That's a lot of value to lose. As DeMusliM is at 3 gold right now, but he has 1,000 per minute. He'll be back. But it looks like B will hold this for now. Will that keep go up? I'm kind of curious what's going on up there with that keep.
Yeah, if he manages to get that, it kind of forces B like, okay, now you got to make a bombard to actually get that.
Yeah.
Which is, it's in a pretty annoying spot for B, so it's gonna, you know, buy DeMusliM some time, just make it like a nuisance. And one thing we should start paying attention to is the gold on the map. It's kind of crazy that we've been here an hour and there is so many gold veins remaining. There's 5 that I can count.
A lot of wood and food units.
Yeah, because it's been so many archers and horsemen, right? And spearmen. But the bottom side is where DeMusliM is right now. This needs to be his focus because this is double gold. And not to mention on the top side, we do see some red on B's rich vein. That's something that B already took. So this is kind of DeMuslim's goal.
Oh, no. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, if he doesn't notice, there's going to be a lot of dead villagers. And with DeMusliM securing the bottom one, B is going to be out of gold soon.
He saw it, so pulled, luckily, because he could have lost all of those villagers so quickly. But that is going to stall out his gold income.
Yep. And right now, DeMusliM definitely in control of the game. Like, B needs to break out of here. He has two options for gold, right? One is in the middle, like literally on the middle, and then one is on the bottom. So, and that's it. There's no other options for him. He has depleted his sources, and I'm so surprised he still didn't make a single keep this whole time.
He almost has the res for it. It could have defended a lot there, although there were bombards. But yeah, it does look like DeMusliM starting to move in there as B had finally kind of won the fight at the end, but then losing all of this gold production, this is really going to slow him down. Losing the madrasa there now, an expensive building.
Yeah, and he's losing his farms. He lost a bunch of production. 2 landmarks going down. And yeah, it's looking pretty rough for him. Like, DeMusliM slowly but surely just kind of choking him out on the map, getting him off the resources. Again, B doesn't... He has wood now because he's, you know, got million workers of wood, but...
That Mangonel got a good shot on the Spearman, but the Spearman getting up on the front line, up against Horseman. More Mangonel coming back, which can do some big shots if DeMusliM doesn't watch out, but he's been on top of it, and he also has Springalds and Bombards at the back line with the Horseman charging forward, looking to get them. See what they're able to grab.
Yeah, the Spearman up right there, no.
Yeah, one Bombard
he's gonna
goes
get
down.
one, but yeah, he's gonna lose all of them. And you know, he had 8k food, but not anymore. And he's completely almost out of his resources, out of gold. Like, the gold income he has is from Relic and Sacred Site. Yep. He actually just got, I can see on the mini-map, he got access to that middle gold, and I'm not sure if DeMusliM knows about it.
Let's look at that's
you can see
sneaky.
That at the mini-map on the middle.
He's
just
not on it yet, but he could. Yeah.
Oh, those are horsemen.
Oh, boy. Those don't help. Idle horsemen at that.
Yeah. I was like, why doesn't DeMusliM move there? Because I see some red, but I guess it's just horsemen.
It looks like B is leaning into the ways of the elephant mass now, as we see mangonels and elephants being the weapon of choice right now for B, as DeMusliM's causing carnage at the south side of his base, but I don't know. B is down on villagers. He's kind of struggling in his gold category, and DeMusliM's at pop max.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where these bombards, like, he's had 1 or 2 bombards shooting the whole time, like, not a great mass of them, but he's just, you know, killing a farm, killing stable, killing a tower, killing a house, and, you know, he's soon going to be close enough to just eliminate him. If you look at the way that the main TC is north, he can actually just ditch this spot and go just kill his main TC in the last landmark.
Yeah, is that his last landmark? He down
well,
the one?
He has a landmark and a TC, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because he has lost H3-4.
3 Bombard picking that up.
Yoink.
I think he's just going to push forward these elephants at some point. He's just massing up with his mangonels. How many mangonels do you have right now? Is it 4 mangonels? Yeah.
4 decent amount for B. DeMusliM has 4 bombards and a couple of Springalds. But he's just trying to fight the B's army straight on, and you know, it's not necessarily a bad option, right? B's cut off from resources, so he knows if we just keep trading, I'll just win.
Nice.
Because I have more resources.
Yeah, Springle just took out a Bombard. Looks like he's going to get the second Bombard too. All the siege being wiped out for DeMusliM right now as we have raids going off across them. Oh no, this elephant's going to hit. I thought I saw B go and raid across the map earlier, but they probably died eventually. Yeah, there they are.
Oh, that's a lot of dead villagers.
Yeah, but
That's a good amount.
Yeah, B's vill count's pretty low, but he does have kind of this elephant mass that he could start to push out, do some damage and some siege.
Yeah, he kind of defended himself. We see DeMusliM pulling back. I think DeMusliM lost the Springold count because B had 5 and I think he had 0, just 2 bombards. But now we see DeMusliM up to 7 Springolds. He's like, actually, I have more than you, so I'll just come back in a second. Give me a moment, and then we see B with even more rating.
Those horsemen are upgraded, and you know, one thing, B's been pushed off gold, sure, but he hasn't been spinning that gold a ton. He's been mostly just producing horsemen and keeping his few elephants in siege alive back there in the corner. So it hasn't totally halted his military production.
Yep, that is very true, and you know, his upgrades are finishing. Did he ever get the madrasa upgrades or no? Can we click on an elephant to see if they have bonus HP?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they were really close. I'm not sure if they went through or not. Oh, there's a madrasa right there. I guess we could look.
I don't think anything is in... Yeah, those elephants do not have the upgrades. So, I mean, that's one thing that he does not have going for him. Obviously, DeMusliM probably got the university upgrades, and B never did, because those take really long time. So, and they're really important because they add 20% damage to elephants, and they add HP to the elephants, which are both, you know, good skills to have. Oh, DeMusliM never got the upgrades either. Never mind.
Yep. So we've got. And I was thinking about, like, the elephants are going to limit his mobility. He does have the horsemen for that. It looks like maybe he's moving towards the north side of the map, while DeMuslim's kind of building another keep down to the south.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Oh,
got
7.5
minutes.
I mean, the way this game's going,
Yeah,
I
we
can
just hit
see
the
both
1
of them
hour mark.
finishing. Yeah. You know, there's a thing. When I played StarCraft, every once in a while I would cast, and every time I would cast, the games would always go longest they've ever gone. And we would have, like, an average day would be 4 hours, and they're like, hey, do you want to cast? I'm like, yeah, sure. Day goes 9 hours. And I'm
I
like,
know that life. I've had the exact same happening for me, especially.
and I'm getting flashbacks right now because I think this day might go for 10 plus hours.
Yeah, I casted on EGCTV. Originally, it was AoE 3 tournaments on this channel, and it felt like every time I'd get on, it'd be like hour-and-a-half games or like crazy stuff like this.
So it's double the curse. Why didn't you tell me this? I should have been paired with someone that has like 8-minute games, and then we balance it out around 20. But we just doubled the curse. That's why every game is going to be an hour and a half. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah, well, you know, that means the next game is going to be like an English villager rush that'll be done in like 5 minutes.
No. Next game is a 1-1, and this series will be done at 10.
Yeah. So here we go. Big engagement here. We've got essentially a ton of those Roost Springolds coming to take shots at this Mangonels. He's not going to let them get that. But the Horsemen are there, and they are picking off Mangonels, or sorry, the Springolds very quickly, while the Elephants are positioning towards the front line. So I don't know. This Horseman got a lot of value.
Yeah, this looks like a decent engage for B. The thing is, one of them can replace an army and one of them cannot. So
yeah, that's true.
Even if DeMusliM loses, like, his income, I mean, 1.6k gold, 1.6k food a minute, and B is kind of dried up. Like, this is his last army that he has. And
yeah,
I don't
and
see
the
any
Elephants all
scholars.
died.
Yeah, no healing, no scholars to back them up. DeMusliM does lose all the siege, but I don't think it matters. This is kind of last B's army.
They knew we were talking about this game never ending, and then the elephants all went in there. And yeah, this is a big moment because before he was growing the elephant mass and growing the elephant mass, and now those are dead. And look at his food, wood, gold. He's got no resources right now. He's down to 46 villagers. This certainly is probably going to be GG in favor of DeMusliM, but B, he's got more fight in him. And no, he doesn't. He taps out. And after an hour of gameplay, it looks like DeMusliM will take up the first game here in the semifinal, making the score 1-0.
Clean. That game, I gotta say, that was a lot of back and forth. Like, that was a roller coaster, because I for sure thought that initially, you know, DeMusliM was put in an all-in situation. Then he went for the ram push that almost killed the TC 3 or 4 times, but then didn't. Then it looked like B was gonna die, but then he didn't. Then B held, and it just went to castling with a lot of back and forth. And I think it was a really back and forth game, and pretty entertaining. And I would say this game, I would mostly contribute. Obviously, both of them played really well, but the patch is what made this happen.